DEESLIMDAOG and STAYSOLIDISDAMOVEMEnt. Praise be to the Most High. Shout out to my subscribers. And if you ain't a subscriber, hit that bell. It's free. Yeah, we back with another one. Yeah, seen a clip by brother Charleston White interview he did with Say Cheese maybe like 3 weeks ago. And I seen the brother was talking about, and shout out to brother Charleston White. You know, I hope you know what I mean, you know, he get back in his right mind. But I seen an interview where he was talking to Sir Cheese, and he was saying how that nobody in Texas won't touch him. You know how you know, and if they did touch him, how he was gonna put the law on them. Now, you know, it's crazy to me, man. You know, no hate on, no shade or nothing like that. But I know Charleston White is a smart man, and he say a lot of good things, and he say a lot of real things that make a lot of sense. But at the same time, is brother Charleston White letting the enemy use him now? You know, I hear a lot. I remember he first came into the game on this internet. You know, he was talking about how he was for the kids, how he would want, you know, change these kids' life, and how he was going to support the kids, and how he hate gang bangers, and how he hate rappers and all stuff like that. But it seems to me that the tables have turned and the coins have flipped, and it seems like brother Charleston White doing the same thing as the people that he was accusing of being, you know, criminals, gangsters, convicts, and killers. Now he doing the same thing. But the most crazy thing about it is this, that, you know, brother Charleston, you starting to have your good evil spoken of, and you doing the same things that the heathen is doing, man, and that you want to have people incarcerated. Like, that's a form of entrapment, and that's confusing, and that's of the devil, man. You know, I just want to ask, do y'all think that brother Charleston White is on demon time? Is he going astray? Has he lost his way? You know, is he playing with his life? You know, anytime that, you know, you just a man like I'm a man, regardless of how much money you got, how much money you don't got, how big your house is, if you don't got a house or not. But I think sometimes, you know, and I'm just me saying personally, from me watching brother Charleston White, that, you know, the fame is going to the brother head and the money is going to their head. You know, I'm just gonna be honest. And you know what got to come back in his remembrance, and everybody in his remembrance, that you can't beat God and you're not bigger than God. You know, you could play and talk about the dead, you could diss the dead, you could call people broke, but man, your arms is too short to fight God. And you know, I think that brother Charleston White got to remember to remain humble, man, because you know, your next thing you know, you thinking that you can't be touched, somebody be in your house with a gun in your mouth. You know, people got to understand, man, that nobody in this world is untouchable, and that anybody could be touched, man. You know, that was just my input on it. You know, I just been, you know, all blessings up to brother Charleston White. You know what I'm saying? I remember him coming on, doing his thing and stuff like that. Not a hater, not a crab in the barrel, but just being mindful and just being a warner. You know, because I see a lot of interviews by him, and this is an interview that I seen by brother Charleston White, and I say, yeah, his attitude is getting kind of like a little puffed up. You know what I mean? I can see Satan working on him, and that's bad, man. You know, when you got to make sure that you don't get turned over to a reprobate mind, because it start out the things that he was preaching about and teaching about and going against. You know, he's starting to like do these things himself. You know, and it's kind of dangerous, man, because you're starting to compromise with the devil just for a little bit of 5 minutes of fame, and you putting your life on the line, which is dangerous. Because, you know, I see him posting about he got guns and all like that, and the police, but I really wonder, is the police trying to set him up? You know what I mean? Just got to be careful out here, man, when you out here trying to get money, especially when you out here on the internet and you got a goal to be famous or be successful. You're not trying to sell your soul to the enemy. And that's what a lot of people doing, man. They end up selling their soul to the enemy just for 5 minutes of fame, and it don't even be worth it. Or, you know, you think you too big or you too untouchable and you get killed. You know, if you look at it, God has been showing us down over the years, no matter how much money you got or how big or how famous you is, that you still could be took out this world. And that's what brother Charleston got to start focusing on, and got to be looking at that. Hey, man, you know what? You could die just like anybody else die. You bleed just like anybody else bleed. So, you know, that was a bold statement for Brother Charleston to make, saying that won't nobody in Texas touch him. You know, I don't live in Texas, but, you know, for him just making a statement like that, you know, that's dangerous, man, because you got people out here that's on demon time as well, that they don't got nothing to lose, and they won't mind doing nothing to Brother Charleston, man. Not saying that it's me, and not telling nobody to go out here and pull down these demonic acts, but you got other people out here, man, that's on demon time, and there is always somebody out here that's better than you. You know, I'm just want to hear what y'all thought, man, you know, about Brother Charleston White, man. He get a lot of flack on, you know, his content and his values and his views of life. Sometimes he be on point, and sometimes he might go a little bit overboard. But the thing is this, though, you know, is Brother Charleston getting to the point where he's starting to let Satan really use him and about to let him trick him up, man. You know, because when you start making statements like nobody not going to touch you, that's a bold statement, because believe it or not, there's always somebody out here that's better than you, and there's always a fool out here that's willing to go probably a little bit further than willing to what Charleston White is willing to go. Especially at this point in his career where, bro, you getting money and you know how I feel to be broke. You know what I'm saying? You know how I feel to be down in the dirt. You know how I feel to be here, your little bit of freedom took. So it's like, man, I would be trying to enjoy the successful part of life instead of out here going back and forth with people that ain't got nothing and that's really on demon time and that might want your spot and to do anything to bring harm your way. You know, I just want to know, man, like, who be around some of these guys when they start getting money and nobody can pull their coattail and tell them, hey, man, you know what, you doing too much, or I wouldn't say this, or I wouldn't say that. You know, just my opinion. I think that Brother Charleston White, man, need to pump his brakes a little bit and just remember, man, that anybody could be touched out here, man. Anybody. That nobody is exempt from people putting their hands on you or from doing anything to you. The devil come to steal, kill, and destroy. And that goes for anybody, and that goes for everybody. And, you know, just another black man just want to see another black man down or harm another black man. To me, that's just crazy, period, man. So I just wonder what y'all think. Do y'all think there is Brother Charleston on demon time now? You know, is he becoming a reprobate? You know, is he just becoming a hypocrite? What's going on with Brother Charleston, man? Y'all let me know in the comment section, man. Until the next time, knowledge is power. Stay solid, it's the movement. Y'all stay solid, stay blessed. Peace and shalom. I'll catch y'all on the next one. We out.